welcome to another Tune Kind at 12 FPS, or I guess EGAD at 12 FPS, because today we are at the Explorers Guild of Animated Discoveries. And with us today is, of course, me, Tala, and my lovely co-host.
Hello, I am the gardening clown, also known as Petals. Yep.
And today, our scene takes place, of course, at the EGAD headquarters with two particularly small members of the guild. Currently, it's a pretty sunny spring afternoon, I'd say. And one of our main characters, Rutapapa, is just up in the greenhouse level, waking up from a really refreshing nap. What about you, Petals? What's your little guy doing?
Okay, so Rutapapa wakes up to two beady blank eyes staring into the Springbean is just kind of there, who has been sitting there this whole time waiting for him to wake up.
He does not seem at all disturbed by this, and he just pops up out of the soil and says, well, hey there, Springbean. You need something?
How do you read?
Huh? Oh, well, I read with these things, and, you hear a small tapping noise, but you can't see, how it was made, and, they look like eyes, but, well, I've been told they're not quite eyes, but I'll be honest, I'm not a doctor. I'm no doctor. I have no idea how it really works. Why you ask?
No, I mean, how do you read? How do people read?
Oh, well, by learning it, I suppose. It's a learned skill.
Also, I'm just throwing the character refs in the rule zone.
Oh yeah, I shall do that as well. God, that fucking face kills me every time. Alright, now where'd I put Rutapapa? Alright. Alright, there we go.
Yeah, there he is. There's the dad.
Woohoo!
Yeah, could you repeat the question you did before, though? I forgot it already.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, well, it's a learned skill, I suppose.
How do I read?
How do you read?
I can't read.
Well, I suppose you just have to learn as well. Unless, has someone tried teaching you and you just couldn't, or?
No. I've never needed to read. Not until now, I think.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of things around here that need to be read.
Springbean is just staring at you expectantly. There is no change in his expression ever, but you feel as though he's staring at you expectantly.
So, I'm guessing you are looking for someone to teach you, because that's usually how you learn. You find someone who knows their stuff, and well, you learn from them.
Can you teach me how to read?
Well, I suppose I don't have anything else to do for the day. Sure. I think I still might have those old flashcards. How about you just, sit tight for a second. I'll get us some materials to get started, alright?
Okay.
Alright, and with that, Rutapapa does hop up and out of the flower bed, or I don't know how this greenhouse is laid out. Don't at me. And hops on out of the room for a little bit before returning, carrying some not at all tiny sized books. Like they're definitely kid sized, but they aren't tiny sized.
Big
And
book.
pretty much. The smallest one is the size of him. And he tosses them all up. And hops back up as well. Alright, sorry about the wait. I knew I had these, but I could not remember for the life of me where I left them. But anyways, and reaching in his hammer space. Alright, with the 9, he also pulls out some pencils and a couple of sheets of paper. Here, you'll probably be needing these.
Question, are the pencils tiny sized or are they also just normal pencils?
They are also just normal pencils. Well, I mean, some of them are like really sharpened down. Like they look old.
So probably still like at least either as tall as Springbean or just like a little bit shorter, because Springbean is like 4 inches tall.
I need to look up how big Rutapapa is. Hold on a second. How big are rutabagas? Like 8 inches? No, that's just like the size of a turnip, but a little bigger. So,
That'd be like 5-6 inches tall? Maybe a little bit shorter. Like 5 inches sounds right, I think. I don't know.
yeah, 5
I've
inch sounds
not
right.
held many turnips in my life.
Me neither. But, yeah, let's say 5 inches. So it's still a bit big, but it's better than a full-sized pencil.
I'm gonna roll a strength check.
Oh no.
See if Springbean can lift this thing. Well, actually, now I think about it, maybe I won't have to roll a strength check because this should be around the similar size to a spear. So maybe maybe it's not actually that heavy. Because if it's like sharpened down, then yeah, it should be fine actually.
Yeah, it's like right down to the nub. There's practically no pencil.
So yeah, Springbean can probably lift this thing then.
Right.
He has to hold it like a spear. He immediately, like he grabs and and just holds it like he would his spear, which is probably not how you hold a pencil.
Well, I mean, If it works, man. It doesn't need to be pretty.
Mm-hmm. But then again, how else would a tiny hold a normal-sized pencil, let's be honest?
True. And, once Springbean's got, its pencils, its paper, Rutapapa grabs the first book, which, he does not seem to struggle with at all. He has, no sign of any limbs, so you've got no idea how he's carrying all this. But he sets it down, flips it open to the first page, and voila, it's the entire alphabet.
What are these strange symbols?
These, little Springbean, are letters. They're basically what make up a word. Each one has its own, well, not unique, but each one has its own sound, and usually they have all got, a different one depending on circumstances or the word, or depending on certain rules. Like, I've heard of this one rule called, I'm for E except after C, but it doesn't seem too consistent. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Anyways, this is basically where everyone starts, learning what each letter sounds like. So, starting from the top, this one, and he also grabs a pencil and taps at the letter A. This one's A. It makes the sound or the A sound, such as in cat or cape.
But those don't start with A's.
Oh, well...
A sound thing.
Well, no, they both start with C, but that's a bit farther ahead. They do have an A, though, and to demonstrate, he writes them both down. See, this one is cat, and this one's cape. As you can see, the
He
A
just stares at them.
As you can see, the A is roughly in the middle of both of them. So the and A sound comes near the middle. Can you tell I'm making all of this up on the fly? I have never taught a kid how to read.
I pat you. Neither have I.
The joys of improv.
The joys of improv.
Does that make sense to you, little brute?
I'm gonna roll an intelligence check.
Can I say
Surprisingly well. That's a 17.
Oh.
With that was a natural 19 minus 2.
I was about to say that he'd have given them guidance, but nah, bro, you're doing fine.
Apparently, Springbean is catching on just fine. He just nods along, I guess.
Alright, great. This one's... By the way, this A, it's also called a vowel. And vowels are basically... I need to roll an intelligence for Rutapapa. Hold on a second.
Yes, what are vowels?
In his defense, it has been a bit since he's had to teach, anyone this.
A 7.
Vowels. They're basically, soft sounds, I guess. Okay, back to C for a second here. You know how, in both of these words it makes the k sound? Well, with vowels, they basically just sound soft for, at least that's how it was explained to me, I think. But essentially, every word has a vowel. What were we saying?
I'm trying to think of what Springbean's going to say here, because he is just trying to mentally process this.
want another intelligence roll to see if they can make sense of it.
He knows what an A is. What the fuck does the A do? That's a nat 20, Springbean. What the fuck?
Jesus.
Springbean, you're supposed to be stupid. Somehow, someway, Springbean managed to, just gather all of that information despite it not being well explained, though I'm kind of tempted to roll disadvantage because it wasn't explained the best.
You'd be well in your right too, but I also wouldn't complain if you kept that nat 20.
You know what? Okay, for your sake, I won't roll disadvantage yet. Also, I will say you don't have to improv every... Here, let's see, how am I gonna say this sentence? Actually, never mind whatever sentence I was about to say, I have no clue how to word it. Moving on.
Well, he does basically just does that for the rest of the letters, because I'm not doing that for every single letter in the alphabet.
And that is fair and valid, and that would take a while.
But
let's just say that, explains the rest of the alphabet.
And also the different types of sounds they can make.
Mm-hmm. And with that nat 20, somehow Springbean has no issue.
And by the end, you've got a full piece of loose leaf with every letter of the alphabet on it. And that is Z. Now, we've got all the parts, but...
Why is it called Z? I feel like Z would be a better word for it.
Well...
I'm so sorry.
Regional dialect. It's a regional thing. Some people call it Z. I always called it Z. Doesn't matter either way, but now that we've got the alphabet covered, it's time to move on to, well, the important stuff. Actually using it. So, since you're starting out, a good strategy when you're looking at a word is to notice what letters are in it and try sounding each of them out individually. Like, for example, I had an entire list of words. Hold on. Like,
take your time, dude.
C, and he writes down SEA. As you can see, it's got an S at the beginning, so it starts with a sound. Then it's got an E, so it has an E sound. But then there's also an A here, but, well, C does not sound like say or sa. And that's because E and A, in this word at least, actually combine to make the E sound. That's a fun little thing that happens in a lot of words. Certain letters, when they're together, will combine a to make a different noise entirely, which is a very common thing with this combination, E and A. If you ever see them together in that order, chances are it's an E sound. So, hold on a second.
Oh, okay. Well, viewers, it seems that I'm the only vocal person in the chat now. Hello.
Sorry about that. Where's my mom? Where was I? Right, words. Okay, now let's try.
Oh, you're cutting out, dude.
Fuck. Hold on. Probably the mic. How does that sound?
It's better. It's just like you're cut. It's just like you went like the. I don't know if it was the mic or the internet making it just like not hearable for like a very short interval. Is it interval? Is that the right word I'm using? I can't remember words.
All right. I think that's resolved now. So, where was I? Right. How now? Let's try.
And there goes Tala again. Yeah. The moment you started saying, "Oh, this is fixed," and then immediately it does not.
Oh
no!
God damn it!
Technical difficulties. Oh no!
Yeah, just a second, folks. Turning down input sensitivity. All right. I think that should be good now.
Okay.
So, back to where we were. Right. Now, let's try another word, and you can give this one a try. And he writes down, hold on, what is the word I was thinking of? P-A-T. Try sounding that one out.
My brain did not properly hear the letters. It was T-A-T, right?
P-A-T.
Oh, P-A-T, okay. I'm gonna roll an intelligence check again, because I'm gonna be doing a lot of these.
You can have guidance on that.
Alright, plus a d4. Good golly, that was wait. That was a nat 1!
Yeah.
That was a nat 1 plus 2!
And then minus all over again!
It was a nat 1 minus 2 then plus 2, so it just ended up being a 1.
Well, it could have been a negative 1.
What do you think about Pate?
Almost there. Wrong A sound. For this one, it's actually pat. And, okay, here. A good way to tell if you need to use an A or an A sound is to look at the end of the word. So, for example, with the word date. What's the joke, Petals? What's the joke?
Okay, instead of saying page, just as piano. Completely wrong word.
Well, there's a P and an A in that, but It's actually... Hold on. If you don't mind, could you explain your, how you got to piano? That might be insightful.
It starts with a P, and I don't know how to spell piano.
Well, you'll learn piano eventually. For now,
I hardly know what a piano is.
I'll be honest, I've never seen a piano either. But, you'll learn how to spell a piano later, but it's a bit too long word for a beginner, I'd say. So
How do you spell piano?
Piano. Piano. And he does write that one down.
Okay. And Springbean now knows how to spell piano.
See, it starts with a P, so it starts with a P sound. And then an I, so an E. And then an A, so an A. And then on with an N and an O. Piano. That
Springbean just nods.
That word. The other one, though, was cat. Though, good try. Good try. How about we try another one? Like...
How do you spell Hiveminds?
How do you spell what?
Hiveminds.
Hivemind. That would be Hive. And he writes that down and pauses. Oh, fun little thing. With the I in hive. It doesn't make an E sound. It doesn't make an E sound here because if you look at the end of the word, there's an E, and that's a good way of telling what sound the vowel in the word's supposed to make. So, like, say with date, you got DATE, and since there's an E at the end, the A, instead of making ah sound, makes an A sound. That makes sense?
Intelligence check once more.
With guidance, please.
With guidance.
Oh.
Okay, that's wait, did I type that right?
Yeah.
Okay, I did. You rolled a natural 19 negative, or -2 plus 3. So that's a 20 total. Nice.
Woohoo!
He understands the I before E rule now, I guess.
Wrong rule, but I don't know.
Wrong one. I don't know fucking term. It's been a while since I've learned English, and I don't know the terms. I just know how it works, I guess, somehow. English is a fucked up language.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've had to learn how to read.
But yeah, for the sake of not going through that process many more times, let's just say that Rutapapa goes through a few more words with Springbean. Likely ending similarly.
Even moves on to a 5-letter at one point.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Even moves on to a 5-letter word at some point.
Big word.
Ooh, advanced.
And Springbean seems to actually be learning relatively quickly.
Which is a big surprise. Besides that one, the dice seem to like you.
Mm-hmm. I guess it does make sense for why he'd be able to learn how to read a bit quicker than, well, a small child. Seeing that he, like, he seems to know, like, how words are put together pretty well, and, like, just generally speaking, like, he doesn't entirely speak like a child, or at least, like, when he actually knows about what he's talking about. Or at least, I was gonna add a second part to that sentence, but I forgot it.
Oh, well, maybe I'll come back to you. In the meantime, though, I suppose after Rutapapa is done with that little exercise, hold on, let me see what this guide says. Okay, and that is how you spell lamp. Say, you're doing pretty well, Springbean. You sure you never learned this? You sure you were never taught before?
I'm very sure.
Yeah, well.
The hive mind has never needed to read, or write, or know these things.
Hive mind, huh? What does the hive mind need to know?
How to survive. How to not get eaten. How to not die.
Yeah, those do tend to be more important than learning how to read or write. Say, speaking of hive mind, with hive minds, aren't there usually like a couple more members of it around?
I don't know where they are.
I
should know where they are. But I don't.
Interesting.
I don't know why.
Can I roll an insight on that?
Sure, go ahead.
Alright. Let me take a look at your insight. And that is the wrong number because of ranger trait. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay. 19.
Ooh, that's a... Hot damn, that's a plus 11 to insight. Nice. That's a... Yeah, 19. Springbean seems to be speaking just ever so slightly quicker than usual. With the 19, you might be able to speculate he might have just had a realization of, oh gosh, he does not have connection to he does not know where anybody else is.
Oh dear. Oh no.
His expression does not change though, as usual.
Well, Well, if you ever need help finding your hive mind again, I'd be happy to help you out. I do know a couple of plants you might be familiar with. Fellow plant hive minds.
Are you from a hive mind too?
Oh goodness, no. Where I'm from, each little plant's their own individual. Though, there are networks further up north that are essentially hive minds. I've met a couple of them. Real swell folks. Though, if you don't mind me asking, where was your hive mind before you lost them? Could be a good starting point for any sort of search.
In a forest. And partially underground.
In the forest?
I don't think that helps much. And just, like, glances towards the fact that they are surrounded by forests, being in a jungle.
Well, what kind of forest would you say? What do the trees look like?
Well, now I need to think of where Springbean used to live.
You can
Like
take
this, I think. I don't. Are there other types of forests?
Well, yeah, a couple actually. The forest we're in is a jungle, I believe. Though, I'm less familiar with jungles and other types of forests, so I couldn't tell you what type it is. But um, there's quite a few different types of forests, such as pine trees and. Let me just. Okay, he reaches into his hammer space again and pulls out another medium-sized creature book and flips open to. It seems to be a book on plants, probably. It's got lots of plant pictures, as far as Springbean can tell. And he flips it open to a page on. Well, on forest. It's got lots of pictures of different trees. And he uses the pencil to point them out. Such as pine forests, oak forests, birch forests, maple forests, and. Ah, well, you get the gist. Any of these look familiar?
I'm gonna roll a d2 to make a decision. Alright, Springbean just points to points to jungle, points to the surrounding trees of just jungle.
Well, I do believe that might narrow down our search area a bit. How long has it been?
Oh, you're starting to cut out, buddy.
Oh no, fuck.
Well, not cut out, more like just get really, really quiet for a bit. Could you repeat?
Alright,
Oh no, you're still quiet. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. Hold on a second. Hold on.
I will offer a suggestion of maybe look into your voice and video settings on Discord, because that might have something to do with it.
Maybe it's noise suppression.
Like, because some things on there might be noise suppression. It's like drown you out.
Or maybe noise reduction as well? I don't know.
Could be that.
But, how's this sounding now?
Sounds pretty good right now. We'll see how it fares.
If it gets bad again, I'll just turn off noise reduction as well. Alright.
Okay.
Where was I? Right. Well, if these trees look familiar, then I think that might narrow down our search radius a bit. Say, how far did you travel after, or rather, how long do you think you've been traveling between losing track of your hive mind and reaching this place?
He thinks for a moment. I don't know. I got swept away at a raid store by it, and it's been I don't know.
That's okay. Sorry. That's okay. I'm
I did end up. I ended up in I think they called it a grocery store thing. Alpha Mart.
A grocery store? Now, how did you end up there?
I got swept away in a rainstorm. And then I ended up there.
Were you in one of the aisles?
I was with the other plant things. Some of them had eyes on them. Well, not my eyes, different. And sometimes the store changed. It was weird, even for me.
Yeah, grocery stores are strange and strange and very frightening place. I'm glad you got out of there. At least it does tend to be a bit dangerous being in them when you're a walking plant. If you're not careful, you might end up in the produce aisle. Ugh. But well, we don't need to worry about that. We don't need to worry about that here, at least. And well, we can talk more about your hive mind later. I might have some ideas on how to help you out, but in the meantime, you still up for a bit more learning?
Yes.
Alright, lovely. Let's see. How about a bit of a game? You point at anything in this room, or anything in the headquarters, really, and I'll spell it out, and you can... Wait, hold on. My brain just blanked for a moment.
Would you like a suggestion of would you mind if I helped your brain for a bit?
I saw a game, a sort of reading game for kids,
You
but
can
I'm
write
90% sure
down at things that are pointed down.
Right. Okay.
I spy? Oh, the name of the thing. Kind of. Wait, I don't know.
Oh wait. Okay, I think I remember what it was. So so here's how it goes basically. I write down something. I write down something on this piece of paper. You have to try and read it out, and then we could both try and find it. Essentially, a game of I Spy with a couple more steps. Of course, it has to be within the headquarters, but other than that, once it's your turn, you can basically pick out anything. So,
Okay.
this is my turn. I'll start us off with, he writes down DIRT.
I'm gonna roll an intelligence check to see if he can
With guidance.
read that. With guidance. Alright, that's already 11. That's not horrible. Plus 3. So that's a 14 total.
Not bad.
So he just points at the ground. Dirt.
Correct. Nice job, Little Root. Now, your turn. Pick something in the headquarters, anywhere really, and write it down, and I'll have to find it.
Sorry, can you repeat that? Brain did not hear anything. It was this time not having to do with the mic. I spaced out for like 2 seconds at the wrong time.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, well, good job, Little Root. Now, why don't you give it a go? You write down a word of anything in the headquarters, and I have to go find it.
Springbean thinks for a moment, or at least you think he's thinking. He's just like stares into space. No change in expression or even like body language, just stares for a moment before writing down think hmm.
Don't worry, take your time.
Yeah, actually, I think Springbean is going to. Actually, I'm gonna heckin' rule a sleight of hand check to see if he can even write this down
Oh,
with
yeah.
disadvantage because he
Yeah.
has not really written much. Still, that's a 10. It's not horrible. It's
legible.
mostly legible.
For the most part.
And he just writes down. I still don't know what he needs to write down. Brain, think of something. He writes down. How can I not think of literally anything in the entire freaking treehouse? Okay, he just writes down door there. But like it's missing an O. It has an E at the end.
Well, I mean, I guess he did kind of. Okay, he looks at the word and. Alright, let's see. D-O-R-E. Were you trying to spell door, perhaps?
Is that not how it's spelled?
Not quite, actually. With door, it would be D-O-O-R. And he writes it down.
Oh, wouldn't that be doer?
Well, O does also make an or sound, essentially.
But would that be an A?
Not quite. And or and A are essentially all different sounds. That's the thing with
Springbean writes
words.
down door, but spelled like or, but with a D at the beginning. Just like this. I'm gonna roll another sleight of hand check because why not? Just why not? Surprisingly decently. A little bit better than last time. Just door spelled D-O-A-R. Wouldn't it be this?
For some words, yes, like with bore. But with the word door. Wait, hold on. I'm thinking about this. Or, door, or.
Springbean's starting to realize that English is stupid and fucked up.
I am so sorry, Springbean. we're the real people in the equation, and even we're struggling. Sometimes, but that's basically the thing with common, I've learned. Since it's basically a mishmash of several dozen other languages, it can be inconsistent, to put it lightly. For some words, like bore, it will be O-A. For others, like door, it'll be O-O. It'll be O-O. As far as I can tell, it's basically just something you learn and intuit as you get better at reading. But, again, no shame if you never do get a handle on it. Again, common is not an easy language if you're used to if you're used to like other writing scripts or not writing at all. But
Springbean just nods.
Even if you do write it as DOAR, I'd imagine the average person would be able to get what you're actually trying to write. And that's, in my opinion, that's really all that matters, is just being able to get your point across and being able to understand what other people are trying to get across. Oh, yeah, the door's over there. And using the pencil, he points at it. Alright, my turn then. Now I gotta think of a word. Okay, this time he writes down Paper.
Another intelligence check to read, but now not with disadvantage. Or actually, no, wait. I don't think I ever rolled with disadvantage for intelligence now I think about it, but you know what? Yeah, then just intelligence check to read. Ooh. 16, he's getting better. And you wrote Paper, right?
Yep.
I'm trying to remember things correctly. Alright, he just points at the paper.
Ah. Good eye.
I have 2 of them. Just points that he has 2 eyes, not 1.
Ah, yes, my mistake. Good eyes, then. And you're correct. That does spell paper. And, hold on a second. And, what's that? And with that, I think we've earned ourselves a bit of a break. What do you say?
Okay.
Can I roll insight?
Huh? You sure can. Hot damn, that's a nat 20, a 31! Okay, what are you trying to read from this?
He's trying to see if Springbean, is okay with the break.
Springbean seems to be indifferent despite the fucking 31. Mikey in the chat is currently trying.
Ranger feature.
Look, sometimes characters just have a plus 11 to deception. Or not deception, sorry, but just a plus 11 to modifiers. I mixed up my sentence. Yeah, sometimes characters just have a plus 11 to modifiers.
This guy's a father. This guy's a father to 50 children. If he did not have that good of an insight, he'd be dead.
Also, Mikey, expertise does exist.
He's level 5, but with expertise from a Ranger feature.
Nice. But yeah, with the 31, you can read you can read this little guy like a book. Puns. But yeah, they're like he seems indifferent to a break. Like, he does not seem to really care.
Well,
though, I'm trying to think of something else to add here with this now added experience to him. Like, he he seems okay for a break. Though also, like, I guess the best word to describe it is seems a little more energetic than earlier. He might have been having a bit of fun. Despite, even if he doesn't acknowledge that, because...
Well, okay, lovely. Rutapapa, at that, takes off his hat and seemingly pulls out a small little, does Hivemind have, like, a favorite color? Hivemind? What was I saying? I looked at your name. Does Springbean have a favorite color?
Nope.
All
Though,
right.
actually, I mean, I guess he doesn't know that people do have favorite colors, but I guess he does usually, like, gravitate to green or brown, because those are the colors he is familiar with.
Okay.
He does not acknowledge this fact, though, and would probably have not told anybody about that, but, I mean, you rolled a 31 on insight. You can just soul read at that point. That is his favorite color.
Don't worry, it is just spell a good berry, and he pulls out of his hat a small, earthy green, kind of looks like a blueberry, maybe, if it were not blue. And also, like, actually, now it's just blueberry sized, and he hands it to Springbean. Yeah, as a little treat. After all, it's hard work learning this much.
Springbean just takes it and just holds it. And just, I can do that too. He's actually gonna cast Goodberry as well. And just, yeah. Just, like, from the ground grows, like a little plant with a little red berry on it, and also hands it to you. And from the good berry you gave him, he doesn't actually eat it, he just holds it. Springbean doesn't eat, or at least not in the normal sense.
That's fair, Rutapapa doesn't either. So, he takes the berry, and, he can eat in that sense, and he does take a couple of bites, and he says, pretty good. And, what was I thinking of again? Right, okay, he takes a couple of bites, says, well, that's a pretty good berry. Where'd you learn how to do that?
Hivemind.
Ah, of course.
We all know how to do that. And other things that other things can't do.
Well, I'm sure it's all real impressive stuff. God, that sounds sarcastic. Sorry. Well, I'm sure it's all real impressive stuff then. Anyways, enjoy that berry, or don't. Once we're done our break, I say we could move on to stuff like maybe reading one of these books I got. Been a while since I had anyone to read them to, but they're good for beginners. And
what's a book again? And I think that's a good place to end the FPS. Because I don't think it was described what I don't know if... Wait, did Rutapapa before say what a book was?
He never said what a book was. He just had these pieces of paper bound together by something that seems like hard cardboard.
Yep. But yeah, we've been going for about an hour now, so it seems like a good place to end the FPS if you're alright with that and don't have anything else to do.
Yeah, that's Our scene ends then, cutting off abruptly after Springbean asks what a book is, because we seem to have forgotten that. And that brings the 12 FPS, some Hiveminds can't read, to an end. Thanks for listening, any current and future listeners. This has been Tala.
I've been Petals.
And it has been a treat to play today. Have a lovely time zone.
And so do you. Goodbye, folks.
Goodbye.